Right, good evening. Thought I'd do a short update video on what's been going on with the power supply. As you see, here is the frame of the case, and I've actually mounted the transformer on a piece of scrap aluminium that I had laying around. Now, it was obviously cut for something originally. It's exactly 200mm long, which is a bit of a shame because this board is it needs to be, I think it's about 205. I think the gap's just a little bit short. Let me get in there with a ruler. Yeah, it's about 1, 2, 3. Yeah, about 4mm short. So it will I'll just have to put the fixings in somewhere else. Obviously, as I say, there are quite a few holes in this bit of metal already from its previous use. I'm quite glad that the back holes line up, although unfortunately the front ones here don't. So I can put bolts in there. I will have to probably drill the front support bar to hold the weight of the transformer. What I was also going to do with the voltage select switch was actually just mount it round about here. It's clear of the transformer. If I just put the screwdriver underneath, you can see that it is actually clear of the transformer. Maybe not by that much, but yeah. And then just run the power wires to well, the switch at the front, which will then do the switch at the back, front to back, keeping everything this side, which still means I would have all of pretty much this space here to mount the circuit board with the bank of capacitors, and just generally put everything in. The aluminium did come for the front and rear panels, but I haven't yet cut that, so that's going to wait until I can get the proper bench, the proper saw out, and do it properly, because obviously being a front panel and a rear panel, you want to have it look nice. So that's what's happening with the power supply so far. Although I have been lucky enough today in the post. Let me just move the transformer out of the way so that I don't drop it on my foot or anything like that. Just put it back under the bench and take the case away. I have been playing with this, which is as you can see, it does flicker a bit on the screen. To me it's perfectly stable, but that's down to the multiplexing of the thing. It's a little thermal switch which came from China today, as I say. The bottom one, you set the scale in Fahrenheit or centigrade, and the top one, the red one, is the actual temperature it's reading. So if I just quickly hold the thermocouple there, you can actually see quite rapidly that it is moving up, and it is registering, the heat of my hand. Now it's set at 40 at the moment. What I might do, if you hold the set button, no, you get the choice here of whether it switches the relay on or off. Come on, click over. Yeah, I'll remember how it goes in a minute. There we go, back to normal. If you just do a quick press, that's right, you can then set the thing to come on lower. So what I'm going to do is, if I set it down to round about, what's it reading at the moment, 27. Is it 27 because of my hand? Probably. Let's take it a little bit higher then. Let's take it up to 29, 30, yeah, 29 will do. You just leave it. Okay, as you see, because I'm not holding the probe, the temperature's dropping. Now if I hold the probe, it should rise up, and here we go. When it reaches a couple of degrees over the set temperature, if I can get it that hot with my hand, maybe, come on, a bit hotter, 3, 4, 5, typical. It's just about, I'm not hot enough. There we go, 30, come on, go on, give me 0.2 degrees. Am I going to have to 30? There we go. The relay clicks over and you get a little light on to say that the relay's engaged. The mode it's in at the moment, the relay engages and links the contacts, so you can actually put a fan on there, and while it's reading high, the light will stay on. As soon as it drops below the preset temperature, which it should do quite rapidly, now that I'm not got my hands on it, I said quite rapidly. Here we go. Yeah, I could spray it with freeze spray and that would send it right down instantly, but can't be bothered. Here we go. Click, off it goes, and the relay then opens up again. So it's a very cheap and cheerful fan control. As I say, you could mount that on the heatsink and then, bit of epoxy to hold it down, and yeah, that would work. As I say, I'm now toying with the idea of having the whole thing done by Arduino, but this is an option. It does work. It's certainly far more reliable than the voltmeters that I've got. The temperature seems reasonably accurate when comparing it to a thermometer in here. The ambient temperature is, so it's not 26. Let's just give it a quick squirt of something and see if I can bring it down quite rapidly. There you go. So that's now evaporated. It should sort of settle on the ambient temperature fairly quickly. Yeah, on the bench that's about right, 20, 21 degrees, 21, 22. Just trying to have a look at what the other thermometer's saying. It's saying about 21, 22 anyway. So yeah, for accuracy's sake, it's it's a pretty accurate little meter. It does what it does. I could measure it against a known constant, like sticking the probe in boiling water and seeing what happens. And if you prefer, rather than going for Celsius, tap it quickly, you can have the whole thing in Fahrenheit if you want. So it's all dependent on where in the world you're based as to how it runs. Now this is actually running off a 12 volt supply at the moment. As you see, it's sort of stabilised around about 22 degrees on the bench, which is I'd say probably just about right, because of the lighting on here and everything else. So that's the quick update. I will get round to making the holes properly on that case and putting the panels together, but I thought I'd just give you that quick update. And as I say, I could have filmed all of the cutting and sawing and trying to make things fit in the past, but I thought this time I'm going to just do there you go, here's the thing drilled and mounted, rather than bore you to death with me gluing bits of cloth on plastic or whatever. So there we go. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll speak to you soon. Bye bye.